Today we're going to look at the covenant, the marriage covenant, okay, as it applies here in the physical realm on earth, and also as it applies when it comes to God and that covenant, right? So when we see somebody we like, okay, we start talking to them, whatever, we end up dating them, and then eventually we propose to them and then get married. What we are doing is we are seeing somebody that hopefully we get along with, hopefully that we can compromise with, we have the same likes, values, ideas, we get along good, and also that we're going to make a commitment to each other. Okay, so when you propose, basically you're saying, hey, now hopefully this is, I'm going to treat you right. The man may say to the woman, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to bring the bread home, I'm going to treat you with love and respect, I'm not going to cheat on you, I'm going to do what I can to make you happy, and I'm going to show you that love through action. Okay, even if something that goes wrong, we butt heads, we're going to work it out, we're going to continue to grow as partners. Like I said, no cheating, whatever we decide. Okay, I'm not going to beat you, stuff like that, right? And one may say, hey, I'm going to work hard at providing, make sure, that I'm doing what I need to do. I'm also going to love you, respect you, be loyal to you, faithful to you. I'm going to do my best to, if you have a job, also work and assist with that, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, you raise the kids, you deal with the finances, make sure that husband provided for with food or whatever, make sure the kids are taken care of, okay? Of course, today's world, we do have a lot of times where both parents work, right? Totally fine, right? But the idea is that it's something like a covenant, okay? We're making promises to each other, what we'll do for each other, how we're going to treat each other, and how we're going to have that hopefully unconditional love where we can get through anything and constantly strive to make it better. So with that being said, if you look at the covenant with God, okay, and we have that covenant, okay, we know there are several covenants. There was Noahic covenant, there was the Abrahamic covenant on down, and what we see, even the Sinai covenant, okay, is we are entering into a covenant relationship with God, Father, Jesus, Son, however you want to put it. And if we look at Mount Sinai, that is the ketubah, or the marriage contract. So just as we might propose, okay, to somebody and say, hey, I want to marry you and this is what I'm going to do for you, at Mount Sinai, we get that same covenant. Whereas Jesus, and I say Jesus because if you actually look at Exodus 20, verse 1, we see that it says, oops, I'm on the wrong one here. Let me see here. We see that it says, Vedaber Elohim et Kal Hadibarim Ha'ela Lemor. And we look at the 8, okay, which is the Aleph Tav, which is after the word Elohim. It is pretty much the same as the 8, which is in Genesis 1:1, which is Bereshit Bara Elohim et Hashemayim et Beret, I believe. And that Aleph Tav, which is first and last letter in the Hebrew language, in Genesis 1:1, shows that Jesus, or Yeshua, was the active creative agent in creation. This is backed up through John 1:1, which is, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Nothing was created that was created through Him. Okay, so if we take and we understand that, and we see that same Aleph Tav here in Exodus 21, we see that it is Yeshua, Jesus, speaking the 10 Commandments. And he says, hey, I'm going to speak these words. And what did the people all do on Mount Sinai? they said, we will do as you say. Okay, so he's saying, look, this is what I need you to do for me. 10 commandments. We all know the 10 commandments, right? Keep the Sabbath, have no other gods before me, don't murder, don't steal, don't lie, don't bear false witness, all that stuff. And he's also saying, and I will do this for you. I will take care of you. I will provide for you. I'm going to give you land when you go, into the land of the land that you're going into after the 40 years in the wilderness. Okay, so when we say we will do all that you say, we are also saying we agree to this marriage contract, this ketubah. Okay, and that's what it was on Mount Sinai, the 10 Commandments, the Torah, if you will. Some people call it the law, but it's also called the teachings, instructions. Okay, we're entering into that. So we're saying, yes, we're going to do what you ask of us. We're going to keep our end of the bargain, okay? And, obviously, God is going to keep his part of the bargain, or the bridegroom, Jesus, okay, YESHUA. And so they go hand in hand. So that's why, it says, I am a jealous God, because, when you commit idolatry, which is basically the equivalent to adultery, he says, hey, I'm upset at you guys, okay? So I just want to bring this up because a lot of people don't realize that this is a marriage contract. And when we are not doing our part, we're not doing right. We are cheating on YESHUA, Jesus, okay? We are not holding up our part of the bargain, right? So when he says, have no other gods before me, okay, that's like a man or a woman saying, hey, please don't put another man or woman before me. Don't hang out with your guy friends and ignore me. Let me sit home and, if you're the wife. Or maybe the man saying, hey, maybe you're scrolling too much on TikTok, when I'm trying to hang out with you, and you're not paying me enough attention. Either way, it's not paying enough attention to each other, or maybe cheating on them, focusing on something else. It can be like somebody who's really into football or video games or something like that. Maybe turns to drinking. So whatever the things are, we are not being faithful, okay? Keeping the Sabbath, right? We are, that is a covenant. That is something we should be doing. So with all that, I just want to show you guys that it is one and the same, and we should be faithful to our bridegroom, right? So what I've been doing for the past few weeks is I've been building up to something, and that something is the wedding plan, okay? And I plan on covering that here on the next one. And if you look at everything we've covered so far, with what is love and faith, what is truth, what is idolatry, what is adultery, and now this, the marital covenant with God or Jesus the bridegroom, and that covenant we have when we marry somebody down here on earth, in the physical realm, that is one and the same. And hopefully that'll help us understand better the wedding plan and what is in store for us as the bride of Christ. Okay? All right, thank you. Have a good day.